all a double standard. And it's the same thing across the board. The government is lawless. And I brought that story up to make another point, and then I forget the original point I was about to make. I've got a bunch of videos posted today on PrisonPlanet.com. Pro-Obama thug viciously attacks anti-bailout protester. Got that, but you won't see Chris Matthews running a report about that. No, he's running a report, and we have the script next Wednesday, where it implies, says Alex isn't going to go out and kill cops, but his supporters sure are. I mean, what on earth is this? This show is not about killing cops. Neither is, I don't want government-run health care. Oh, you're a Klan member. What does it have to do with it? I don't want the government-run health care. They'll screw it up. It's a scam for special interest. Oh, really, racist? Tell us about the last Aryan Nations meeting you were at. Hey, I don't want government-run health care. Okay, I'll just shut up. Don't call me racist. Okay, fine. Take my money. It doesn't work anymore, folks. There's a Mike Adams report up on GCNlive.com. New research, electropollution can cause diabetes. Of course, a bunch of other studies have shown this for a while. Most people are familiar with type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, but did you know that researchers have discovered a third type of diabetes? Type 3 diabetes, as they're calling it, affects people who are extra sensitive to electrical devices that emit dirty electricity. Type 3 diabetes actually experience spikes in blood sugar and an increased heart rate when exposed to electric pollution. Yeah, I saw research 10 years ago about cell phones actually heat the brain. From things like computers, televisions, cordless mobile phones, and even compact fluorescent light bulbs. Notice all the reports, people getting sick from those. And the government says it's the law, you must have them. Dr. Magda Havas, Ph.D. from Trent University in Canada, recently published the results of a study she conducted on the relationship between electromagnetic fields and diabetes in Electromagnetic Biology and Medicine paper. In it, she explains how she and her team, I want to get her on, by the way, came to discover how this about why electropollution is so dangerous for so many people. And again, I was 7, 8 years old and noticed that when I would brush my teeth, I'd get a headache and want to go lay on the couch. Nobody told me sodium fluoride was deadly poison, especially for children. Or that it causes an excitotoxin effect where other toxins and drugs and things are accentuated in the body. I just knew, man, this stuff makes me feel sick. Fluoride treatments, when I get them once a year, I would have to get nauseous and lay in the back of the car driving home. I get a headache just thinking about it. And everybody's like, God, these, I want phosphorescent bulbs, but they're shutting down the manufacturer. They put in fluorescents. They put in these new compact fluorescents. And man, do I get a headache around them. Well, of course you do. I mean, when you put an AM radio near a fluorescent bulb, it buzzes. It's ejecting so much electromagnetic radiation that it's causing AM radios to not pick it up. In fact, we got to do an experiment in here, put it on, say, AM 590, which we're on here in Austin, and have the show on here. Well, I guess we couldn't play the show. Play somebody else's show because they do a feedback loop. And just take a fluorescent light bulb and bring it over next to the antenna when we're listening to AM. The show's coming in clear. Bring the light bulb over. When you're listening to AM radio and you pull underneath power lines, you notice how it cuts out? Because they're broadcasting their own radiation. They're broadcasting their own wavelength. I mean, they knew this in World War II. Guys who would sit in front of a radar dish sometimes would die a week later from it. They would put their food in front of radar and heat up a roast in front of a radar. I mean, anybody in radio knows you don't get near an AM or FM, big transmitter, that it can burn you in the tower. You don't get near it when it's on. It's blasting radiation. Not the same as what comes off a uranium or plutonium bomb, but still damaging you. I mean, your eyes can only see a very narrow bandwidth of the full spectrum. You can't see what's blasting out, what's going on. Very interesting information. Again, this is up on Infowars.com as well as GCNlive.com. and it's, of course, from Natural News and the Health Ranger. Dr. Magda Havas, a Ph.D. from Trent University in Canada, recently published the results of a study she conducted on the relationship between electromagnetic fields and diabetes and electromagnetic biology and medicine. It is, she explains, how she and her team came to discover this about why electropollution is so dangerous for many people. Blood sugar goes haywire. See, it's bouncing off the cells. It's causing them to resonate. One of the most interesting findings in her study was that electrosensitive people whose blood sugar decreases when they go for a walk outdoors actually experience an increase in blood sugar when walking on a treadmill. Treadmills, you see, are electromagnetical devices that emit electrical pollution. But interestingly, because it's spinning, even the physical exertion of walking on the treadmill did not make up for the blood sugar spiking effect of the EMFs emitted by treadmills. Despite the experience, in other words, type 3 diabetics experience significant spikes in blood sugar when walking on the treadmill. I mean, this is scientific. They're hooking them up to treadmills, and the electromagnetic radiation is making their blood sugar spike. It's not being absorbed by the exertion. Dirty electrical systems, dirty electricity is bad for anyone, but it's especially bad for people who are type 3 diabetics, and Dr. Havas explains in her study that even having an electrical device plugged in the wall near someone who is type 3 diabetic can cause them problems. People that finally get off all the GMO, people who are dying, having liver failure, get off GMO, get off all this stuff, suddenly their problems are over. They're solved. I mean, we are just... I am in here with all these fluorescent lights aimed at me, because we don't use the hot lights that can burn things down. I've got electromagnetic systems all around me. I'm just bathed in a jacket of it. Why do you think when you're out in the country, far away from power lines, far away from everything, you just feel so peaceful? Because you're not in the electromagnetic pollution. I'm going to come back, get to a few of your calls, and got another guest coming up. We got...
Times are tough, and you got to stretch that dollar. A special invitation for listeners to save. Sign up at DoubleShoppers.com today and start paying the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices for the coolest stuff. New premium brand name TVs, laptops, watches, camcorders, Blu-ray players, and more. All with factory warranties, just like you get from a retail chain, except for the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices. They start low and go lower with our reverse auctions. You save even more with your first $8 auction purchase. Doobly will give you an instant $25 dining certificate good at thousands of nationwide restaurants, plus a $500 vacation discount voucher, usable at hundreds of resorts around the U.S. and world. Sign up today at DoubleShoppers.com. Pay the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices, and listeners receive special rewards. It's worth a peek to keep money in your pocket and the coolest stuff in your home and garage. Sign up today at DoubleShoppers.com. That's DUBLI Shoppers.com. You'll be glad you did.
They helped to create a new world order. We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
The problem.
How do I cook food without power?
How do I light my home with no electricity?
How do I get emergency radio broadcasts?
How can I make safe drinking water?
When your power goes out, the solution for cooking, baking, home lighting, listening to the radio, and producing clean water is the Family Emergency Kit from Karo Stove. Karo Stove has been in business for over 12 years with the largest selection of kerosene stoves and family preparedness supplies in the U.S. Now, get the Family Emergency Kit at KEROstove.com for only $4.29 plus shipping, a savings of nearly $200. It's perfect for off-the-grid living. Call 888-395-1164 today. That's 888 888-395-1164 and ask about weekly specials or check the specials online each week at KEROstove.com. Again, call 888-395-1164 or go to KEROstove.com. Kero Stove for family emergency solutions.